Hello, this is AC, continuing on our journey of self-love, self-peace, and creating a positive environment for ourselves as well as for the people around us. I am new at this, and I had intended on doing some things a little different as far as the camera goes, but I've got an older camera, and its ability to adjust and focus is probably not what newer cameras are. I have to work on that as I go along. But I'm going to probably change subjects. I had intended on getting more into my discussion. I mentioned yesterday creating a thankful log or thankful book, and I'll get into that a little more in the days to come. But I want to talk about staying positive in an environment where the enemy is trying to keep you down. And obviously, for any of us, if we've lived long enough, we know it happens, it can happen to us, and it can be extremely frustrating. I recall back in 2018 when after I had a serious breakdown of sorts with everything going on with me, my life, my health, job, and so many different things going on, and then all of a sudden I got into a car accident. I was involved in a car accident, and I'm a pretty active person. Unfortunately, after the car accident, I seriously had problems getting up out of the bed. Unfortunately, I had problems sleeping at night, laying in the bed because of the issues that I was having with my back. And so I realized that at the time it was a struggle because I was dealing with so much stuff. I did have, thank the Lord, a positive person in my relationship to be able to encourage me. But it was a struggle. It was a serious struggle, and other things happened, and probably we'll get into that later. But what really made me think about this today is I was sent a picture of a friend of mine's, a tree fell on his house, and unfortunately he is dealing with grief issues because he had someone extremely close to him pass recently. And it's just so typical of the enemy, because I think about how well he has been doing and how positive he has been. And obviously, as any human being, as with any of us as human beings, he has his good days and he has his bad days, but it has been miraculous that he has had a lot of good days, and he has used his spiritual strength to pull him through what he's been going through. And I applaud you, Ron. I applaud you, Ron. You're a wonderful brother. You're a wonderful man. You're a great human being. And I want to just say to you that everything is going to be okay. Do not allow the enemy to try to pull you down. Please don't. You know, I looked at the pictures, and it looks like, just from my view, it doesn't necessarily look like there is any major damage. It looks like it's more superficial, but I'm pretty sure right now, with everything that's been going on in your life, you simply don't want to deal with anything else. I know, and that's what happens to all of us. We don't want to deal with it. We get to a point where we have dealt with one thing, then something else comes along, something else comes along. The unfortunate reality of it is, the enemy is, chances are the enemy is not going to do too much knocking on your door when things are going absolutely fantastic. And you are extremely stable and secure in your emotional and mental state. More than likely, the enemy is going to try to get to you when you're on the fringe and you're right at the cusp of a struggle to get through any particular type of situation. And so again, I want to encourage you, my brother, to not fall for the lies and the deceit. Understand that these things are material and they can be replaced, and that's what insurance is for, and everything is going to be okay. And I say this for all of the other people that are out there that are going through struggles, and they may have experienced the same thing. There may be a person out there that was just getting ready to get started with a business, and then the next thing you know, COVID-19 came into play. And that person might have been right at a point where, no, excuse me, they would have had all of the success they desired, and now everything has been put on hold, or it could possibly be a little worse. You know, there are a lot of people out there struggling today with everything that is going on. People that have lost their jobs, people that don't know where their next meal is going to come from. And right now, I think all of us as human beings are probably dealing with a level of stress that we have never experienced before in our lives, because there is so much uncertainty with everything that is going on from day to day to day. And unfortunately, we don't have the leaders in place that we need to be able to do what would normally be done. So we basically have to look to ourselves and God. So I encourage my brother Ron. I encourage anybody else who may be listening to this, who may have had today the straw that broke the camel's back occur, when they've reached a point where they can't take anymore, and they're tired and they're sick of what's going on. I say to you, please do not give up. Take a moment, breathe. If you have to pull out your cell phone, turn on the camera and reverse the camera around to yourself so you can see yourself. If you need to go take a step and go look in the mirror, and as you look in the mirror, look yourself in the eye. If you're looking in the camera, look yourself in the eye, in the camera, and say to yourself that everything is going to be okay. And you know the reason why everything is going to be okay? Going back to what I said yesterday, you're actually looking at yourself in the mirror. You have an opportunity, as difficult as it may seem, and as stressful as it may be, to take a breath, assess what's going on, whatever it might be, and look at any possibilities of ways that you can do to figure out what you need to do to move forward, whatever that might be. But don't give up. Don't give up. Because the reality of it is that in this life, no matter how much pain, frustration, anger, any of that goes on, the reality of it is this life is going to go on. And for yourself, because God would want you to, be strong. Be strong. Be strong for you. Because that's one of the things that I was going to talk about when I say you. I say us. I say myself. I wanted to talk about self-love, but there's plenty of time for that. But self-love comes into this picture as well, because you always have you. If you don't have a house to live in, if you don't have a car to drive, if you don't have people who love you, you always have yourself, period. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the love of God because He created you. He created you in His own image. He created you out of love. And you should love yourself before anything else. So I'll get into that more later, but bottom line is there isn't anything in this world, in this life, that we can't get through. If we've been given another day, it may be a struggle, it may take time, but we can get through it. We can make it, we can survive. I know it because I'm here. You know, I've been through a lot. So, with that being said, to all my wonderful people out there that actually viewed this video today, be strong, love yourselves, don't give up, fight. Fight for you because you're worthy to be here. God created you out of His love. You're worthy. Don't give up and fight. And Brother Ron, again, you're worthy of God's love, and you're certainly worthy of your own love. Don't be frustrated by a tree that has fallen on your house. Don't let the enemy try to lie to you and make you feel as if you've been defeated, because you haven't been. You are a conqueror. You've overcome so much, and you will continue to overcome. And if I have to drive all the way up there, 600 miles with my chainsaw to help you, I certainly have no problems doing that. But I love you, brother. Everybody, again, thank you so much for viewing this video. Again, I had I had set up a temporary prop to try to work through some of my shortcomings, but again, you know, I did mention that yesterday's video was probably a little, you know, it was an impromptu video, and I don't. My goal is really to focus on the message. I was critiqued by my wonderful sister, who told me that it wasn't loud enough. I'll have to work on that. I will have to work on that as well as time goes. But again, this is about a message, and I really want people to get the messages that I'm trying to give you all. And it's not just for me. It's for anybody who's interested in listening. May God bless us all. Have a wonderful day.